Hi, I'm Katie Tiemeyer. I graduated from Silver Springs High School, and I'm going to college at the University of Texas at Tyler. Very beautiful. And I'm going to college to be a kinesiology major and then end up doing strength and conditioning coaching. I was very blessed to grow up in the house that I grew up in, where my parents were my best friends. My brother, me and him fought all the time, but like what siblings don't. And it was just a very comfortable environment for me to like be able to explore. Like it was never like cutthroat, whether it means like athletics, academics, anything. It was just like, it was very loving. It was a very loving environment. So I'm very blessed because I know that's not the case for everyone. So I loved the health aspect of it. And then I also went through like a challenge in my life where I just wasn't treating myself properly. Like I feel like that's something girls struggle with in general in the confidence area, with like eating right and wanting to fill yourself and just trying to be confident. Meanwhile, like being on social media and being in this world, like people put this like model body up that you want to have, but realistically when genetics are involved, when just the difference between people's bodies in general is involved, you have to kind of understand that you're never going to be like somebody else. No one else is going to be like you. But Silver Springs High School, being raised in Silver Springs in general, has to be one of the biggest blessings that I've been a part of. I love Silver Springs. I will be going back. I think that's something that shocked people here in Tyler is that I'm very bubbly and very comfy and like I love people, and I feel like that's something that Silver Springs has instilled in me is just a love for people. Like we're a community that just loves on people, and that's a blessing that I've been a part of in high school. Cheer in high school was a blast. It was so fun. I had great cheer coaches that I felt like were some of my like family, like big sister figures. It was Kaylee Williams, Caitlin Meadows. I was captain for 3 of the years that I cheered in high school. It was a blast being in a leadership role. It is different than I'm sure what you will have heard before. So I got a concussion before Thanksgiving break, and so that was almost 4 months ago. I'm thankful because we have a good athletic training committee who's been helping me through this process. They just always tell me like one day at a time. And it's true, every day gets better. Every day there's something to look forward to, whether it's a new exercise to do for rehab or one of the symptoms going away. Like, yeah, it was eye-opening because I had to step away from everything. I went to the Gillis Foundation, their new building that they made. Funny story, when I walked in to the Gillis Foundation building, the person to open the door for me was Mrs. Deborah Gillis herself, and I had no idea, like not a clue. I walked in and I was like, hi, and she was like, right down the hall, and I was like, perfect. And then whenever she walked in with me, the people on my committee were like, thank you, Miss Deborah. And I was like, oh. Whenever I walked down the hall and Mr. Driver, our principal, saw me, he like was like, hey, I need you to come into my office. I got some things to do. And then he took me to the library, and I was like, oh Lord, I can't be getting in trouble this late in the year. But then I walked in and they were all there, and it felt like family, like being like, welcome home. It was just such a blessing. It made me feel like I was dreaming. The Gillises had such a huge impact on Sulphur Springs. And a lot of times I feel that when students leave and they go to college, they forget where they're from and they forget the people who raised them, like the village that raise them to be who they are. A lot of the times my brain just goes back to like, how can I come back to Sulphur Springs and like impart something I've learned, impart like things that I've picked up into the kids back in Sulphur Springs, because kids like have it a lot harder every year. Come back, raise the village, do a lot more in our community. Somewhere around there, just love on Sulphur Springs, not forget, love on the people.